Hey, look, got me feeling like I need to be throwing hands today in the Kango kitchen because I'm so excited about this knockout, this classic knockout that's about to take place. Once again, welcome to the Kango kitchen. I am your host, Chef Boyar P. Out with the Kango, so you don't have to. Now, look, I mentioned classic. We're going to be making beignets. Beignets, very popular delicatessen, if you will. Essentially a French donut made in New Orleans, Louisiana. Surprise, surprise. Very popular down there. You can get it. You can get it at a few places in New Orleans, but the most popular place is the French Quarter, Cafe Du Monde specifically. You got to go there. Now I'm making beignets a day, but I just got to say nothing replaces the actual experience of going to Cafe Du Monde and eating getting the beignets fried right there on the spot. You got jazz music playing in the background. You in the French Quarter. It's just a feeling that I can't even really describe. But we got to deal with what we got. We not in the French Quarter. You in the Kango kitchen. So I like to say that that's just as good. So, what say we let the craculation commence? All right, let me show y'all some of the ingredients that you're going to need. Probably the most important, yeast, active yeast. Let me make sure I got it all. Instant yeast, yes. Definitely got to have the yeast, and you'll see why. A little sea salt, eggs. You're going to need like 2 of those eggs. You got... Well, I'm going to say that second. We got the main thing. One of the main things is flour. You got to have the flour. All-purpose flour. Don't really matter what kind, bleached or unbleached. Just make sure it's flour. You got confectioner sugar. That's like the powder, like the finishing touches at the end of the beignet. Regular sugar. Pure cane sugar. All that good stuff. And you got the frying oil. Now, a lot of people use different oils. You can use canola, vegetable oil. That'll be good. That'll do. But from what I hear, cottonseed oil is what Cafe Du Monde actually uses. Now, I'm not saying if you use any of the other ones that they won't come out right, but it's just me personally. Something sticks in my head when I hear that somebody's using the exact oil. That's the one I'm going to use. So let's get started. We start off with the yeast, right? We need 2 teaspoons, maybe like 2 1/4 teaspoons of the yeast. I got that in the bowl right here. We have to get that activated. So to do so, we start off with some room temperature water. Now, 1/2 cup in a measuring cup of water. I already poured that water. I got sugar in there right now, but that's for later. But I poured the water in this cup earlier. Now you need this water at a certain room temperature, maybe like 105 degrees. I don't really have a thermometer right now, but we ain't worrying about that. I found out a way that'll get your water going good. You put it in the microwave, 7 seconds. On high, 7 seconds. So I'm gonna do that. Don't worry, y'all can't see me, but I'm still here with you. 7 seconds. On high. 6. So I gotta be very precise with it. And that's 7 seconds. Take it on out. You're gonna add this to your yeast. Let that sit a little bit. After that, you add the 1/2 cup of sugar. 1/2 cup of sugar that I showed earlier. Pour that in there. Now, you take your whisk. This is a whisk, folks. Gonna stir that up. Really just kind of whisk it till it combines. You don't have to be, doesn't have to be that long. Just till everything integrates, mixes up. Keep up that sugar. Now, very important. You have to let this sit. Let this yeast sit and rise and activate, I guess, from between 7 to 10 minutes. That's what we got to do with that. Because we got to get it activated. It's going to be vital in how the dough and the flour and all that raises up later on. So it's gonna be, you know, some compartments to this video, but we're gonna make it all come together in the land of beignets. Quick look at how this yeast is supposed to form up. It's supposed to be like a little raft at the top. The bubbles start bubbling. Excuse me while I shift y'all to the bowl a little bit. If you can kind of see, it's starting to bubble a little bit, rise up. So now, from then, we take our 2 eggs, put it in a bowl, 2 teaspoons of salt, add that, and 3/4 cup of whole milk. I ain't had whole milk in a while, but you need them for the beignets. Treadmill. You add all that, you whisk it up. Our little magic wand. Whisk it all together. You're gonna have to beat the eggs like they're crazy. Just kind of mix it up to where it combines and integrates. Nice and liquidy. Let me see. Yeah. To that, you're gonna add it to our yeast mix. Make sure everything is out of your bowl. And to the side. Now, gonna do the same with the yeast mix. We combine it. Every holes match my shirt. That was not intentional. Now for the flour, the all-purpose flour. This is the interesting process. The first cup of flour, this is 2 cups of flour right here. It takes like 3.5, but we're gonna break it down and add. Just stir it up till it gets like that little sticky, kind of like that sticky, pasty consistency. You know, that type thing. I only seen my pancake video with the cinnamon and all that. Man, go ahead on and check that out. I done made myself hungry making beignets. Now I'm thinking about pancakes. But it's all about the beignets today, right? Right? Yeah. Stir that up. Now, we're going to take some butter. This is unsalted butter. Remember our old friend, unsalted butter? We're going to, I can stir the butter in. Maybe four little slices of it. But I like my stuff melted. We're going to melt this butter. So that's 1, 2, 3. Get the last one in. If I can get it off of there. A constant stir of the flour while adding a little flour here and a little bit there. Kind of make it thick. Give it that thickness. You want to get your big bowl like this. You want to lightly oil it, not too much. The first mix of dough, of flour. I keep saying dough, same thing. You want to pour it in here, in your big bowl. The reason why you need a bigger bowl than the one that's coming out of is because this flour, it looks small right now, but when we let it sit for 2 hours, it's going to be flour and letting it sit for at least 2 hours and letting it form up, letting it rise. It actually doubled in size. So now we decorate our table, decorate our base, make sure it's clean, of course, with a little bit of excess flour to kind of pack it in a little bit. And this is what we have. It's right here. Make sure it's sturdy and ready to roll out. And when I say roll out, we need our good friend, the good old faithful rolling pin. Sure, a lot of y'all familiar with this. So what we want to do is we want to take it and we want to roll out that pin, roll out our dough. Make sure you put a little bit of the flour on the pin, kind of keep it loose. Make sure nothing stick. But if you let it sit for a couple of hours and you did everything correctly, you shouldn't have any problem with it sticking. So we want to roll it on out, get it nice and smooth. We want to roll it out. We want the thickness to be about 1/4 of an inch. We don't want it too slim. Don't want it too thick. We want to put those beignets in there. So after cutting them up into squares, or close to squares, you want to heat your electric fire to about 360, 370, something like that. Takes about 10 minutes. You want to put them in there. As soon as you put those beignets in, if they float to the top, that means you did everything right. You want to go about 1 minute on each side. And the beignets, 1 minute on each side. I went on and did all of them. This is what we come with. What's all that white stuff on top? You wonder, you might say. I got the answer for you. The confection of sugar. Little powdered sugar. They got different kinds, various kinds. I like to get Domino, D-O-M-I-N-O. The reason why I don't have it in the package, I got this bad, barbaric, beastly way of opening stuff. And I went to open it up, and I bust all kind of holes in it and almost got everywhere. Had to give me a big Ziploc bag and put it in. My family know what I'm talking about. I open presents crazy. I rip stuff up like I got these 10-inch claws. That's just how I do. So Domino sugar. Sprinkle them on top. Sprinkle them on each side. You're supposed to get wild with the sugar. So we are done. And here comes the money. Nice and doughy on the inside. After that first bite, you go back and you double dip. I'm gonna tell you, if your mouth not looking like Tyrone Biggums off of the Dave Chappelle show, if you ain't looking crusty and dusty, you are not eating them right. I had fun. Hope you had as much fun as I did in helping me make these beignets. Follow me. Hashtag Kango Kitchen. That's K-A-N-G-O-L Kitchen. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I look forward to joining y'all, and I look forward to y'all joining me on the next episode of the Kango Kitchen. Chef Boyar P signing off. Y'all do me a favor and be good.